Stephen Cropley, the Winston's Lab here, and I have Surefour of the LA Gladiators. So we're going to get right into things. What is this all like for you? I mean, this is because you were not a pro in other games, correct? Like this is your first step, whereas some other players came from a Team Fortress or something like that. What's it like to be considered a professional gamer?
I mean, it's pretty surreal, you know? It's always kind of like a pipe dream kind of thing where you get to say, yeah, I play video games for a living and get paid for it, so it's pretty exciting.
Now, speaking of that, how many weird looks do you get when that comes about? Because I know when I've had to tell people, oh, I'm in the media, and they're like, covering what? And I'm like, well, competitive gamer. And then I have to go through the whole spiel of explaining what it is and all that. What is that like for you?
I actually get more surprised, excited faces rather than like, what do you mean kind of faces. Like, a lot of it comes from like when you're with an Uber driver and they ask what you do and you're like, oh, I play professional video games. And they're like, really? That's cool. So
I had a very similar experience on the plane ride to LA, where a guy next to me is a rancher, and I have to explain to a guy who works on a ranch what I do. And I told him media, and he's like, media what sports? And then he's like, well, what sport? And I was like, well, esports. And we went through the whole thing. But a lot of people are open to it these days. And I mean, is that what you find? Is that most people that you come across when you tell them that they're positively receptive, rather than telling you that it's weird?
yeah, even the people that don't really play video games or really into it kind of get like really interested about it. Like they kind of ask that kind of question as in like a kind of small talk kind of thing, but then once they actually hear it, they're like, wait, you actually do that? So then they keep trying to dig in. You actually go into a lengthy discussion about like what's it all about.
Yeah, so now that you've been picked up by a team, can you walk me through how that worked? I mean, you were on the scene for a while. Like, you played on the Canadian team and you've traveled to some events and gotten a taste of it. But what was it like when you knew that only, a certain number of players are going to make these Overwatch League teams? And if you weren't one of those, you kind of were left out. What was the process like? How did you feel going into this? Was there a lot of nerves?
I was in a kind of rough situation. Didn't know exactly how things would pan out for me with how I was kind of still on cloud nine, but not on cloud nine at the same time. So it was mostly just try and do whatever tryout I can and see how people react to how I play. And fortunately, I was able to get picked up by the LA Gladiators.
And with the LA Gladiators, and it was talked about once again in the press conference, I mean, you guys are kind of battling for a city, right? I mean, you have, just in California, several teams, but in LA alone, you have at least two. And, I mean, is there pressure on you guys? Are you guys on your team saying, we want to be LA's team, or is it just kind of like, we'll split it with you guys?
There's definitely that kind of built-in rivalry, like we need to be the better LA team, but it's not our end goal. The end goal is always the finals of the Overwatch League, but it's definitely like a goal that's there as well.
Yeah, it's like the trophy at the end's, the ultimate goal, but every little notch in your belt over the other LA team is probably going to be good. Do you see rivalries playing a huge part in the Overwatch League moving forward? Do you see that as being a driving factor to fan engagement and things like that?
Definitely. I think a lot of people that have like city pride will definitely have that kind of feeling, especially if the games are close. Then people are going to be like, yeah, well, we beat you that one day, kind of thing like that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you very much. This is again Surefour with the LA Gladiators, and I'm Stephen Cropley with Winston's Lab. For everything Overwatch League, check in at winstonslab.com.